All right, hello, Jack, and maybe that's all who's watching this video. I don't know for sure. Jack, at least for sure. We are on day 3. This is last day of final review for semester tests. We're on 32. We got to make it to 40. We only have that many problems left. That's not too bad. Okay? All right, here we go. You ready? 32. There's 2 things we have to do on 32, so make sure you answer both parts of the question. Find the value of C. So C equals something. That makes this thing below a perfect square, okay? We want to break this down as a perfect square, and then we want to write the trinomial as a perfect square, okay? So what we're looking for, this is kind of like what we do when we complete the square. We're trying to figure out what that C value is, right? Okay? So what I want to have happen is I want to be able to break this down as a trinomial, but I want these 2 pieces to match each other so that I can write it like this, right? So what I want is I want to multiply to get C, but I want to add them to get 18. So what 2 numbers can I add together to give me 18 that are the same? 9. Now, does it need to be a positive 9 or a negative 9? Positive, because positive 18, right? Plus 9, okay? And then I can write it as x plus 9 squared. That is finishing this part of it, when it says write the trinomial as a perfect square. That's x plus 9 squared, so that's part of the answer. Then we have to figure out what C needs to be. Okay, 9 plus 9 gives you 18, but 9 times 9 gives you what C is, so that has to be 81. Okay? True or false? Your C value will always be positive. True, because even if it's negative 9 and negative 9, it will be positive 81, right? Okay, so true, your C value will always be positive. Perfect. Okay, moving on to the next one. 33 and 34 go together. So on your test, when I have everything mixed up in order, they will still appear together, like right next to each other, okay? The first one is asking for the discriminant. Do you remember what the discriminant is? Let's talk about 34. Let's talk about the quadratic formula. Okay, the quadratic formula, write this down. Do you remember what it is?
Negative b.
Negative b.
A negative.
Plus or minus.
Plus or minus?
Square root.
Square root. B squared. Minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so in 33 and 34, you're using the same function, the same equation, right? That's why these 2 go together, okay? Now, let's go ahead and figure out what a and b and c are from this function, okay? A, what's a going to be? 1. B is 4. C is big, a negative 32, okay? That's A, B, C, all right? Now, let's go back up into 33 first, because this is going to help us, all right? In the quadratic formula, you have the discriminant. What part is the discriminant part? The stuff underneath of the square root, the b squared minus 4ac part, right? So b squared minus 4ac, that's what we want to calculate. That's this part. That's the discriminant. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac, okay? Now, depending on what that number is, will tell us some things about our function, okay? So, for example, if that discriminant is negative, let's say, okay? Like, let's say we ended up having a square root of a negative 4. So our discriminant would be negative 4. Okay? How many solutions will you have if your discriminant is like negative 4?
1.
If your discriminant is negative. Avalee has big old fat goose egg on her hands right here. She says, why is there none? Because it's negative. This is going to be an I, which means he has imaginary zeros, which means he's not going to touch, right? So this one has no solutions if it's negative, right? If the discriminant is negative, negative inside the square root can't happen, right? Okay, what happens if that solution is positive, like a positive the square root of 4?
2.
Why is there 2 solutions? You're right, 2 solutions because of the positive negative. So plus the square root of 4 minus the square root of 4. Or plus 2 minus 2, because the square root of 4 is 2, right? So that's how that works. Okay, what happens if that number is 0? Like plus and minus the square root of 0.
1.
Why is it 1? Something plus 0 is the same thing as something minus 0, right? Plus and minus 0 gives me the same solution. So I will have 1 answer, 1 solution, okay? All right, so keep in mind this is what this looks like. I'm looking for a parabola. No solutions would be something like that, right? 2 solutions would be something like that where he's crossing 2 places. And one solution is where he's just going to touch once, right? Where his vertex will be on the x-axis, right? That's how that works, okay? And I can tell that just by calculating b squared minus 4ac, right? That's what tells me all of that stuff, okay? So b squared minus 4ac. All right, for this problem, let's do it. B squared will be 4 squared minus 4 times a times c. There we go. We've got that going on. All right, then we just have to solve for it. Okay? Anybody lost? Are we doing okay? 4 squared is 16. Negative 4 times a positive 1 times a negative 32 is going to be a positive number. Does anybody know what 4 times 32 is? 4 times 30 is
128.
120. 4 times 2 is 8. 128. Is that how you do it in your head? Or do you try to do it in your head? Try to do it in your head if you can. Okay? 128. All right, 128 plus 16 is 144. What does 144 mean? That's the discriminant, right? 144 is the discriminant. Okay, now that tells me that there is how many solutions? 2 solutions, right? It's a positive number, so we have 2 solutions. So make sure you answer both parts. The discriminant is 144, and it has 2 solutions. Got it? Now they're saying in the next problem, find those solutions. So do the quadratic formula and tell me what the solutions are. We know there's 2 of them. Find what they are, right? All right, so we're going to plug into this formula here. What's negative b going to look like? Negative 4 plus minus the square root of what? Don't do it again. We just did it, right? 144 is b squared minus 4ac. All over 2 times a, which is 1. Then we're going to simplify that thing. Okay, I know 2 times 1 is 2. What about the square root of 144? It's 12. It comes out nicely, okay? All right, then what do I do? Let's do negative 4 plus 12 over 2. And let's do negative 4 minus 12 over 2. Because the 12 came out nicely, let's just write it as 2 separate pieces and give me the answer, right? Okay, do you see what I just did? Plus minus. All right, negative 4 plus 12 is 8. Divided by 2, the first answer is 4. Negative 4 minus 12 is negative 16 divided by 2? Negative 8. Okay, what did these 2 things do for me? What are they? The x-intercepts. Those are the zeros, right? Okay, that's where he crosses. And how many of them are there? How many solutions are there? 2 solutions, like I said, right? 2 solutions. Okay, so make sure that those 2 problems are consistent with one another. Don't say that there's 2 solutions and then end up with only 1 or end up with an I, right? Okay, good? Got it? All right, there you go. Okay, couple more. Here we go. We're in chapter 4 now. This is the last chapter we just got into doing. It says write a polynomial function. What's a polynomial function? What? What's a polynomial function? Like this is a polynomial function, or this is a polynomial function, or this is a polynomial function. All of those are polynomials, right? X squared, x to the third, x to the fourth, those type of things, okay? Write a polynomial function that has zeros that are 5 and negative 2. Great. What's that mean? That's what x equals, right? That's the x-intercept. So x equals 5 and x equals negative 2. Now where do I go from here? Yeah, let's go ahead and work backwards, right? Okay, so if x equal 5, then what did it look like in parentheses? X minus 5, right? And if x equals negative 2, then x plus 2. Okay, now how do I get a polynomial from there? Foil it, right? It's just like working backwards, right? Instead of factoring, we're building it back up, right? Okay, x times x is x squared. Then I have plus 2x minus 5x minus 10, yeah? Almost done. Put the middle 2 pieces together and you get x squared minus 3x minus 10. And that is a polynomial that has 2 zeros that are 5 and negative 2. Happy with that? Yeah, those aren't too bad. Okay, good. All right, 36, we are multiplying. How do you know that you're multiplying other than the fact that it says multiply? There's nothing in between here. They're right next to each other, right? Okay. All right, so how do we multiply that? It's kind of like the FOIL, but you're going to have more pieces. This is a binomial, which is 2 pieces, times a trinomial, which is 3 pieces. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total, because 2 times 3 is 6, yeah? Okay, let's distribute or multiply. X times x squared is x to the third, x times negative 2x,
Minus 2x.
minus 2x squared, x times negative 3, minus 3x, yeah? Are we doing okay? Okay, then we go the other one, negative 2 times x squared, negative 2 times negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 3. Okay, then, last thing, combine like terms. Okay, x to the third power. He doesn't have anybody to go with, so he's just going to go by himself. All right, negative 2x squared and another negative 2x squared. Negative 4x squared. Okay, how many x's will you have?
1.
Plus 1x, or just plus x, right? And then plus 6. There we go. That was a multiply. Good? Yeah? Okay, simplify on this one. We have to get rid of the parentheses and get the exponents and all that good stuff, okay? How do we do this? Slightly puzzled. What are you going to do first? The exponents, right? We got to deal with the exponents, okay? So let's deal with the square first.
6a squared.
You're close.
9a. Oh, 9a.
Yeah, if you take the 3 and square it and the a and square it, that would be 9a squared, right? You're distributing that 2 through. Now, this is what Kaylee said last period, which was really brilliant. She said, okay, I don't think about it that way. I think about it as this. When you're squaring something, you're taking it times itself, right? That's 3a times another 3a. Does that give you 9a squared? So if it helps to think about it like that, rather than distributing the 2 through, then you can do it that way, right? Okay? The other one, so there's that, 7b to the 4th power. That means I take the 7 to the 4th power and the b to the 4th power. 7 to the 4th power is huge. 2401. And then what? B4. Okay? Again, if it helps you to think of it as 7b times 7b times 7b times 7b. 4 of them, right? Then you'll get the same answer, right? If it helps you to think about it in terms of that. Okay? Now what do I do?
You take 9 times.
Yeah, can you put them together? 9 times 2401, huge number.
21,609.
21,609. 609. And then what? A to the second, B to the 4th. You can't put anything else together, so it's just like that. Good? Happy with that? You do parentheses, and then at the end we're going to multiply the 2 remaining pieces together. Got it? Okay? How do you know that we should multiply this by this? How do I know that I need to multiply those 2 together? There's nothing in between them, right? Like here, there's no operation. They're right next to each other, okay? Even though the exponent's there, they're right next to each other, so that means multiply. Got it? Okay, they started doing this one wrong, 7th period. What are they asking you to do? Subtract. Okay, they said distribute the negative through and then FOIL. You're just subtracting. You're just distributing the negative through and then combine like terms, right? Okay, so this 2x squared plus 3x minus 4, he's just going to chill, right? And then the other one, if I distribute the negative through, minus 4x squared, that will become plus 7x minus 1. Yeah? These ones are nice and easy. Like, they shouldn't be too bad. You're just subtracting. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and combine like terms. So 2x squared minus 4x squared. Negative 2x squared. Okay, how many x's? Plus 10x. 3 and 7 makes 10. And then minus 5. Got it? Yeah? Good? All right. Well, two more. All right, we have to decide 2 things that we have to decide. Odd versus even. And then is it positive versus negative? Okay? We have to make that decision. So tell me whether it's odd or even. Tell me whether it's positive or negative. I'm going to circle which one it is. Okay? All right, this thing is, who said odd? Remington said odd. Why?
It goes down.
It goes down as x goes to infinity.
I mean, kind of. They're going opposite directions is really what we're looking for. Yeah, I think that's what you meant, but like it wasn't coming out the way that I thought you were going to. So opposite directions. It is odd if it's going opposite directions. Okay, it's going even if they're going the same direction. Do you know what I mean by when I say same direction? Okay, like if they're both ending up and up, like the end behavior up and up or down and down, then it's going to be the same direction. Okay, and it's going to be an even function. This one's odd. Okay, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Why?
Because it's going from left to right.
It's going downhill from left to right. If it was going up, it would be positive, right? Okay, so this one is odd and negative. All right, the last one has multiple questions on it as well. The last one. Is that a tree? Ah, I need to bring you money then. I have a checkbook. Can I write you a check?
Yeah.
Are you in there right now? We're on our last problem. I'll pop over with a check, okay?
Okay.
Blue Hill Schools?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Identify the leading coefficient. That's the first thing. The degree. That's the second thing. And then the end behavior. Okay? How do you write out end behavior?
X
X goes to infinity.
Yep. X goes to infinity. What's the y doing? X goes to negative infinity. What's the y doing? Now the problem with this is they don't have the graph of it for me. Like they don't have it graphed. So how the heck am I supposed to know? Well, this leading coefficient and degree will tell me what it's going to do, right? So looking at this function, first of all, I want to make sure of one thing. Is it in order? Is this function going in order? Yes, okay. What is the leading coefficient? -3, and the degree is 6, okay? So judging by what we just did, right? This is an even degree, so it's an even function, and it is negative, okay? So what does even tell me? That it's going the same direction, right? It's the same direction. If it's even, it's going to be the same direction. What's negative tell me? It's going down. So it's going the same direction, and both of them are going down. So like it's going like maybe like this. I have no idea. Both of them are going down. Now I have the graph, right? Now I have it figured out. As x goes to the right, what's the y doing?
Y goes to negative.
Down, negative infinity. As x goes to the left, it's going
No.
also down, negative infinity, okay? So they don't give me the graph to begin with, but I can figure that out. Why the positive, negative, even, odd, right? Okay? All right. I'm going to put all 3 of these videos up on Google Classroom for you if by chance you want to look at them between now and Tuesday. Make sure that if you missed a day, if you are gone, you have this packet filled in, okay? You don't have to turn this packet in, but it's only to your benefit if you have everything filled in, okay?